There's a piece from the Book of Nods called Just Visiting. When the shooting broke, I decided to vault the teller's window and face the fire from the other side. They saw my forearm tightening across the throat of the cashier, Ms. Lattimore, and as my Browning was raised to her temple's pulse, they took it back. It all fell dead. With the silence, I felt the distance between my trigger and the man. I heard the reverberation of the last stray bullet's muffled ring. It moved out through my brain in circles of jagged light, expanding like still water broken by a stone. Some smart young lieutenant arrived to take things over. He leaned his eyes a moment through the doors in front and then went around back. He went inside a small light room and threw the switch. All the lights rolled out of thin vapor tubes above me from right to left. The darkness absorbed more silence. I could hear their details being signed. The tone of the headman's voice was clear. They were hot to blow me away. I didn't expect my hostage would go down as a deal. I knew she signed that paper when she took the job. But I just wanted some last contact. I would have rather some sweet, clever music. I slit the strap to her bra. I reached under. I felt my palm rinse her breast. It could have been a radio. I moved my lips closer so only she could hear me. It should have been a radio. I whispered in my codeine voice. I told her, You see, all my life, the women I've been with, and that's more than you can imagine, really. I always bypassed their breasts. I went down, you know? I went to the source. I honestly don't think you're going to die, so don't be afraid. Listen. I wanted the thunder on my fingers, on my lips. What are a woman's breasts? It's just so much adornment. They lay like chalices on an altar waiting for adoration. Like the writing on the scroll, the handles on the urn, the gold that lines the vessel. I wanted the mystery inside, the thunder and the darkest light. I mean, I feel the sharpness of your nipple. It's flawless, there's no doubt about that. Just let me move it over here. Oh, it came out. It's so red. You must be younger than you appear. I know about that kind of thing, really. Once I told this girl that she had breasts like bleeding lemons. She thought that was a beautiful thing to say. But what are they? It's just architecture. Where is the wetness? And why are they so white, so terribly white? Whiteness frightens me horribly. When I was 14 years old, I went to my friend's house at the beach in Long Island. The sun there in the sand, I remember. It was terrible, too much whiteness. I couldn't stand it. I stayed in my friend's room for days and listened to music. His mother and his fat sister, they thought me quite insane. I wanted to teach myself to play the drums. The sister was 36 years old and so fat the mother had to tie the laces on her shoes. I hated her and she hated me, but I was just visiting, so it wasn't fair.
So really, why I continued writing, even though it came back and I got drunk for 10 years, I felt there was nothing out there. So I had to continue because they were so bad, not because I was so good. And I'm still not so good, but they're still very bad. There's still room for somebody to step in here, you see. And I hope he arrives, or she. That should be enough right there with that bundle of 55 poets. That should cure them of their melody, but it won't. Good night, goodbye, and happy reading.